Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. Well, we certainly thank you for taking a few minutes out of your day to attend the hangout with Horos. Again, what we believe to be a premier medical image viewer, open source medical image viewer. I want to go ahead and get started by introducing Purview for those of you who are not aware of who Purview is. Purview is a U.S.-based cloud medical image management company. We've been in existence since about 2006 when we started as SecureRAD and focused on supporting medical imaging using Osirix alongside our on-premise PACS solution. Today, we support over 100 clients globally, spanning 4 continents, and over 1,000 Osirix workstations. So we have over 10 years of experience with Osirix, and we love it. We have a huge, significant allegiance for the Osirix application. We are the founders of OsirixExperts.com, which has become a prominent resource online for content related to Osirix, how-tos, a blog, and our online webinar series that we've been running for several months now. So that's who we are. Quickly, I'll introduce myself. My name is Phil Jackson, and I am one of the co-founders of Purview. I originally founded SecureRAD in 2006, and have been, intimately involved in medical imaging for a number of years. Initially as a chief technology officer for an outpatient radiology group on the East Coast of the United States, and then as a founder of SecureRAD and ultimately a co-founder of Purview. I want to talk about what Horos is, and then hopefully I'll be able to dispel some, not dispel, but explain some of our intentions behind Horos and how it came to be. Horos is a fork of Osirix 5.9. It originates with the Osirix 5.9 source code in the GitHub repository by Pixmio, picks up in Alex Bertonini's Osirix LXIV project, and then ends up in our GitHub repository as a fork here at the Horos Project. It is a fully 64-bit version of Osirix. There is no 32-bit limitation. Work has been done to remove all of the nag screens throughout the application and ensure that you can open up 500+ imaging imaging series without those limitations. DICOM editing is enabled in Horos 5.9, and it is licensed, most importantly, I believe, under the GPL license, whereas Osirix is licensed under the LGPL license, a more restrictive version of GPL licensing. So I think that that's a very important consideration in our objectives with Horos. And I'm going to talk a little bit about those objectives now, along with some history to let those folks attending this webinar today understand ultimately what our intentions are. As many are aware, Osirix was actively becoming more and more closed. And what we mean by that is that there was an active effort on behalf of Pixmio, Antoine Rosette, the guys who built the original Osirix version, to begin to limit its capabilities. And that began many years ago when 64-bit capability was taken off the table and made available through the 64-bit plugin. Later, MD was released, Osirix MD, which introduced FDA approval and the CE mark. And as version 5.9, 5.8, 6.0 rolled around, we started to notice features and functionality missing from the application. I can identify some of those now for those of you who are not familiar with those limitations. We saw that the number of DICOM nodes in the preferences locations were reduced to just a few. The number of web users in the web server that's built in were reduced to 2. The not for medical use annotation that you can't remove without a special plugin or purchasing Osirix MD was added. The ability to resample a data set so that you could open it up with the 32-bit version, a large multi-slice data set, was removed. You know, there were regular changes to the application occurring that were making it less and less meaningful as a freely available medical image viewer. Those capabilities were not removed from the commercial versions of Osirix, Osirix MD and the 64-bit version, which you could purchase. Those capabilities were reintroduced. So really a direction a direction being taken by Pixmio with the most recent version, Osirix 6.5, to really go down the path of making what amounts to freeware, right? So Osirix 6.5, new licensing agreement, a licensing agreement that does not permit redistribution, restricts your ability to modify Osirix per this new license agreement, permits your ability or restricts your ability to redistribute its software. There are numerous features that are only available in Osirix MD. The 64-bit plugin is gone. And no new source code has been introduced to the GitHub repository since 5.9. I should clarify that no new features or functionality have been included in the updates to the GitHub repository. So this isn't open source anymore. Osirix is not open source anymore. Osirix at best is freeware. It's actually been renamed. You'll notice that the app is now called Osirix Lite. It's not called Osirix. And you know what? So be it. We don't have an axe to grind with Pixmio, but what we do intimately believe is that Osirix, as it originated, should remain open source. Some version of it should remain open source, and we believe that Horos is the answer. And so here at Purview, we really started looking for a project. We started looking for an effort among people in this community to build a version of Osirix from the source code available in the GitHub repository that removed these limitations. And we found Alex Bettarini's Indiegogo project. This was a project that had only minimally been funded and was set up in such a way to accommodate these changes and to distribute a version of Osirix without the limitations. And we at Purview decided to fund almost 100% of that Indiegogo project. We really loved what Alex Bettarini was doing, and we really wanted to support him in doing it. And we did. And Alex did a wonderful job and made available as open source the fruits of his labor that we funded. And we think that that work is just awesome. And we talked to Alex Bettarini and we said, Alex, how can you participate in this project going forward? And we talked to lots of people about participating in this project going forward. We believe at Purview that it takes more than a village. It takes a village at least to have an open source software project be successful. In fact, at Purview, we sat down and we studied open source. You don't really study open source. We studied open source and we looked for ways to build a successful open source project. And there are many, many, many bits and pieces that go into building a successful open source project. You need to build an infrastructure around the open source code. You need to build an infrastructure that supports a community's participation, both as users and as contributors of source code. You need to market and make people aware of the project. You need to have resources that go beyond one individual. In fact, it's a community that will make open source, any open source application, successful. And so We began to start that engine here at Purview, and we built Horos, which is currently version 1.0.3. We built that, made it available, and we implemented the engine, the infrastructure around that project, that open source project, to engage the community. And we've been incredibly successful. We have almost over 1,000 downloads of the application. We have people beginning to participate in our Google group. We have regular questions coming in on a daily basis. And we feel a real momentum behind this project. So that's where we're at today. And we have great intentions moving forward. We are just beginning the process of hiring and organizing resources to develop Horos and different plugins for Horos. In fact, you may or may not be aware, there is a job posting on the Purview website today for a full-time senior developer to own the Horos project here at Purview, to contribute to the Horos project, to organize the efforts of the community, to ensure that those clinical and research and education users who are enjoying the benefits of Horos today have a resource to communicate their requests for tomorrow. We intend at Purview to be the commercial entity to continue to provide an open source version of Osirix. We do not have commercial intent with Horos. We do not intend to start charging for Horos. We built a business here at Purview around supporting customers globally using Osirix, and we will continue to do that as our 1,000 users globally transition to Horos. So those are our intentions. Our intentions are very clear. I personally believe as a user of Osirix, as somebody who's supported it for over 10 years, our intentions are well justified. We are not slamming Pixmio for what they've done. We agree that in business sometimes you have to make tough decisions. And while we don't necessarily agree with the decisions that Pixmio has made, we are certainly not grinding our axe. We are looking for ways to maintain an open source version of Osirix that is sustainable and that is intimately advanced by the community. I want to talk a little bit about our roadmap. A lot of people have asked us, what are we going to do with Horos? What's next? Is this just a copycat of Osirix LXIV or Pixmio's Osirix MD or Osirix? And I certainly don't believe that's the case. While I can't today lay out for you a specific technical roadmap of features and functionality that we'll take into the future, what I can do for you is tell you how we intend to build that roadmap and what our intentions are behind that roadmap. We continue to perfect Horos for everyone's use. We have set up bug tracking facilities. We have set up Google groups. We do these hangouts to learn from those people using Horos what's wrong, what can be improved, and we make that information available to the community so that folks can start engaging with the source code and making improvements. Ultimately, that issue tracking software, that bug tracking software called Mantis, which is also an open source project, will begin to look a lot like a technical roadmap. We'll begin to get feature requests from the community, and our efforts to advance Horos will directly relate to the items in that platform. Again, our intent to take this forward as open source software. Open source software means that anyone, anywhere can benefit from it, and that anyone anywhere can contribute to it. And that will be integral in the DNA that takes Horos forward. So if you were to summarize that into a mission statement or into some mission objectives, Horos is a perpetually free medical image viewer. It is fully open source under the GPL 3.0 license. It is fully functional. And we support open contribution with curation. And this is a non-commercial project. This is a project owned by the people who participate. Our vision. We want to make Horos the best open source medical imaging software available on Earth. It is a product of expert community collaboration, and we actively encourage others to provide ideas, code, and suggestion. Everyone attending this webinar today, we are Horos. We want to take this opportunity in the webinar, since I've done a lot of talking, and answer your questions. We'll open up the floor. You can use the GoToWebinar control panel to ask questions. We can't, unfortunately, open up the mic with this software product, but we can open up the floor. We'd like you to ask questions, and I'd like to do my best to get those questions answered. So we'll give you guys just a few moments to ask those questions. And I'm going to give you guys just a few seconds to get those questions asked, and then we'll get them answered. Okay, we have a couple of questions that I'd like to go ahead and get answered now. Do we have a plan of building a mobile version of Osirix for the iPhone or iPad? This is a great question. We, I think, would like to believe that Osirix HD, which is currently available in the App Store, will continue to interoperate with Horos. It's not an immediate priority for us right now. We believe Osirix HD is a wonderful project, and we fully support it. We believe that it's in Pixmio's best intention to make sure that it's backwards compatible with other versions of Osirix that might become available. We're certainly aware that directionally Pixmio has gone a different path and could choose to make Osirix HD proprietary. And if that's the case, Foz, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, Foz, we intend, we will begin to investigate what options we have. Howard, great question. Horos developers obviously need to earn a living from their work. How do you intend to ensure durable financial support? Howard, the open source community is made up of people who graciously provide effort and capability to take projects like this forward. But at Purview, we all get paid here to earn a living. We believe that that's critically important, and we are actively recruiting developers who will participate in the Horos project and benefit financially. So we intend to pay some great developers to participate. That's just a reality that we are working through. You'll notice we do have a job posting, and we want to make sure that we've got some cornerstone resources available to participate. But again, lots of people will benefit from this project professionally and commercially through providing support, integration, installation. Purview has been in existence for 10 years. We've never charged for Osiris. Just to be clear, we've never charged for Osiris. We've passed through sales of Osiris HD and Osiris Pro. We've supported it, we've installed it, we provide professional services, but we have never charged for Osiris, and it's not our intention to do so. Lorianne, let me read your question here and see if I can get your question answered. I have been doing some CT scans on biological material, but all of this equipment creates different file formats other than DICOM. Is it your basic idea to make Horos compatible with a large range of files like LTF, bitmap, TIFF, etc.? Lorian, the community is going to have to decide what direction to take Horos. It's not just our intent here. But I personally believe that medical imaging must be able to encapsulate clinical information of different file formats, and I would believe directionally we'll be looking at ways to support other file formats in the future. And Foz, I've received your question about being on a meeting that you've requested with Craig, and I'll be more than happy to participate, and Craig will make sure that I end up on that invitation. Marcelo, you're a cardiologist from Brazil. Awesome. It's so wonderful to see the international community embracing Horos. In fact, I would say that almost 70% of those people using Horos today are from international locations from us. I think it's a reminder that open source is international. Open source does not have a nationality. And again, it's wonderful to see you using it in Brazil. Sounds like you're doing MRI and CT of cardiovascular imaging studies, and that you have a PhD. You have a PhD project involving processing of CT coronary images, and would like to adapt your project to Horos. Could someone help me with this? My project is also free and open source. Marcelo, what's the name of your project? Can you share that with us? Have you released it yet? We'd love to learn more about it, and I will put some contact information up on my last slide. I hope what I've explained here makes sense. I know there's been some chatter in various forums and people questioning having multiple versions of an open source version of Osiris available. I think our beliefs and what we think is necessary to take this project to the next level are a little different than some of the other people in this space right now. We encourage you to use Horos. We believe that we're starting to see a community form around it, and we'll do everything we can to support that. I cannot emphasize enough, everyone attending on this webinar today is Horos. Purview's here to sponsor it. Purview's here to take it forward. We're here to do whatever we can to make sure that this project is successful, but we are by no stretch of the imagination the project. I'm going to put a last slide up here for you with some contact information. Sometimes it's easier to ask questions over email or over other channels. Our email here at Horos is horos@horosproject.org. Any issues that you identify using the Horos application can be documented at horosproject.org/mantisbt. Our website, horosproject.org. I'm going to check back one more time and see if there are any more questions. It doesn't appear there are. We look forward to working with all of you as community members, and we encourage you to participate in any way that you can. For many, that's simply going to be sharing the word, telling your friends and family, engaging with your colleagues and constituents. For others, that's going to be participating and developing source code. And for many more, it will be giving us information to make the project better. We encourage you to use the resources we just shared to do that. We hope you have a wonderful Friday, and we look forward to sharing more information with you about the Horos Project on our next meetup. Thank you.